So I want to talk about the amount of immigration that has been occurring. Okay, now just stop for a second. You guys remember that actor Paul Walker who just died? Okay, so Paul Walker was not a very old person at all. In fact, most people would say he was a pretty young person. But let me just put things into perspective relative to his young life. When Paul Walker was born, the United States had 200 million people. When Paul Walker died, we now have 315 million people. Paul Walker was born in California. When Paul Walker was born, there were 19 and a half million people in California. California was considered one of the biggest, if not the biggest state in the United States. Today, there are 40 million people in California. That's too much. That is just way too much growth. Now, we have had record-setting immigration. You know, a lot of times people think that the big records were set in the 1800s with Ellis Island. Oh yeah, there was a few years, maybe 3 years or something that were huge. But what we have been doing in the past several decades blows Ellis Island away when it comes to total numbers. A lot of people don't know this, but the United States used to average about 200 to 250,000 immigrants in total that came to the United States. Since Paul Walker was born, we have been averaging more in the millions. We are about 2 million immigrants per year. Now that's way too much immigration. I mean, to go from 250,000 to over 1 million. And I'm not, the million is just the legal. We have another million illegal on top of that. If you think about it, California's population, at least when I was a kid, and like when Paul Walker was a kid, there was 19 million people. Today, we have 11 million illegal immigrants. That's not that long ago. I'm not an old person. The point here is, we have too much immigration. And keep in mind, only China and India have more people than we do. This has to stop. It's not good for anything. It's not good for the environment. It's not good for schools. It's just not good for anything. People talk about, oh, it's great for the economy to add all these people. Well, if it's so great, then shipping everybody home that's illegal will be great for their economy. It's just too much immigration. Somebody please stop it. Please.